Let's go over to the Ford Skybox to watch this match. Wrapping up the day. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss these games because they're starting right now.
Imagine training and competing for years on end, sacrificing so much, reaching the event at the top of your craft, only to fall at the final hurdle. For one of these teams, that's about to be the case, but Stumpy, which one?
Cassio, before the series started, was chatting to Orb and said, "We destroy them 3-0. We bumped into CJ just outside, and he retorted, "That's what Endpoint said before our series." Renegades coming into this, needing to do just that little bit better so we see them tomorrow, but SMPR attempting to avoid being reverse swept in the Swiss.
CJ always good for a witty retort, but will he able to keep out SMPR Esports alongside his Renegades teammates? They've done so well throughout the season, but this will be surely their toughest test yet. You can already see the SMPR Esports pressure they're putting on. Such a good team at squeezing the life out of their opponents, just keeping that ball in Renegades' half of the pitch, and the infield passes, Josette's already looking for them, and Archie's already going for those solo plays.
Something I've loved seeing from SMPR is the way that they can link those plays together as well. But with Renegades, they've done an astounding job of keeping their opponents a little bit away from that ball. Kami, immediate shot towards that net. Brilliant block out with the follow-up coming from Fever. He has looked ferocious.
Yeah, Fever, one of the new generation of OCE stars, just desperate to make this region appreciated at this sort of level. He's certainly doing a good job for it. James what mentioned on the desk, the incredible flip reset he got from the corner against Furia in their huge upset earlier on. I'll be looking for him to break this SMPR Esports defense down, because when they do defend deep, SMPR Esports are so tricky to break down.
They're just so good at forming a defensive line that is near impenetrable by the best teams in the world. The issue is some of these teams are able to get through it. I want to see what Renegades are going to be able to offer when SMPR aren't playing their best game, potentially, that's where Gregan very correctly identified they have won those series. They've managed to get through teams that are rated higher than them. SMPR, though, it's all on them as far as I'm concerned. They're the team that theoretically should be the likely winners, but Renegades, they are here to write their own history.
Well, here comes Kami trying to get onto the backboard, or at least get a dunk on Chaussette. It's met by Cassio in the air, and Cassio is a player that is always so overlooked. He has been to 3 different RLCS LANs in Season 7, Season 6, Season 7, and Season 8, and he's always finished top 5. In every single one of the RLCS X Majors, always finished top 5. It does seem that maybe that's his ceiling, but with this player Archie on his team, he can break even further, and it's 1-0 to SMPR.
Gorgeous touch from the young man as he goes high off the sidewall onto the second. Backboard is found, and the opening goal, first blood, welcomed in by the dueling dragons.
16-year-old is Archie. He's been such a dominant force, first for Top Blokes, then for SMPR Esports. Surely one of the highest rated players in the game right now. Undoubtedly the best on his roster. This has been the big question mark over him. You know, we talk about teams like BDS, can they compete on LAN? But there are individual players, stars like Archie. He is doing his best to prove that he personally can compete on LAN, but so can Renegades. They've proven that recently. That pass comes in, but it's well defended again from SMPR.
SMPR's tournament opened with them beating Furia and Sandrock Gaming, 2 huge teams. Sandrock managing to finish in the top 3 as well. They've been able to take massive scalps here, but then falling to both Dignitas and Complexity. Renegades are the next team on that long line of those who have fallen to SMPR. Renegades, they have had a bit of a different story. Going through Endpoint, they're losing to FaZe and Ground Zero. Nearly getting perfect swept there as well, but then taking down Furia.
Oh, there's Chaussette. He's just put that one over onto the backboard. Here comes Archie. He can put it away. Could that be a breakaway goal for CJ? He shoots it all the way to the post. He's following it up. CJ tries to finish. Cassio got in there in the way, but a great counter-attacking effort there from Renegades.
Terrifying to watch that from the opposition goal as well, as it looks so on target. CJ just can't quite get a sniff on that ball to touch it past the double defender defending that net.
Renegades are looking okay, though. You know, they're starting to get some attempts. They're dealing with the SMPR attack. It's more on defense. It's more on attack that they're looking unlikely to break through it, but that was a really good chance for them. This one, though, is going to fall for Chaussette. Using that Fennec, his infamous card. Done so much good work with it. Won majors, international majors with it. Also competing well elsewhere, but here's Kami. He shoots another brilliant save. Fever, can he put it into the center for CJ, who arrives, but they get in each other's way, and SMPR can take it away.
Does arrive a little bit too early or late to that ball, depending on what they were trying to do. A pinch or just a pass, but Fever attempting to find Kami this time. Doesn't manage to do so. Chaussette on the dribble, lays it off to Archie. 2 goals.
It was a fun little finish as well there. Archie calling his teammate Chaussette that he had a chance just to be teed up Don't you worry, son, I've got this one. CJ's desperately trying to arrive, but he had no chance at all. And SMPR Esports take an expected 2-0 lead in game number 1.
Something I've loved seeing from Renegades is how animated they do become, though. Kami and CJ both screaming when things start to go their way. And then the much more grounded Fever, the man who is typically the star on that team, is still okay to take the calmer role and not go wild with it. CJ starting to go for a musty there, does manage to get the touch above the net as well. With under a minute left, SMPR lead with 2-0.
Kami, who has been in these situations with CJ on multiple occasions, just like CJ a couple of times, been to RLCS LANs and never won a series there until this very tournament. And they build on that. CJ to the sky. He's got Chaussette to beat, who sends it out wide. Kami's coming in. Fever's in the middle just waiting, hoping the ball will fall to him. Not quite happening on that occasion. 30 seconds are left. Renegades yet to get on the score sheet, but they have had some chances. Just need that final touch to put it in the net.
What a transition downfield there from Fever as well. Getting it from his own side corner onto that back wall. Does go for the double as well. CJ fancied a bite of that cherry. But as Kami picks up the mid boost, he's able to dribble. But look at Archie immediately snuffing out that threat. A bad touch backwards, but Cassio to recover.
There's maybe one more chance for Renegades. They can get this ball to Fever just to get themselves on the score sheet and feeling good going into the second game, but it's looking like even that will be too much for them. And this one seems more and more like it will be a 2-0 victory for SMPR Esports.
Great start from the European lads of SMPR. I mean, there was so much hype behind this team as well, where they were able to come through in this tournament, winning the first 2 games. They look like they might even just be able to go through and win in the 3-0. But this is a series where they are able to, make sure that that is their idea. Their idea is win here, don't let OCE even have a sniff. Renegades, they need to finish in their best position that they have ever had. Cole, my question does seem to be that how does Renegades manage to bring it back after 2-0 and not too many chances on net as well?
I feel like Renegades are playing a little bit too cleanly at the moment. When they beat Furia earlier, honestly, a lot of their good chances came off the back of CJ whiffing, just completely throwing the Furia rotation. They didn't seem to be able to deal with these weird plays that Renegades are offering, but I think they were just trying to play too nice, too pure, too good, in inverted commas. So I want to see Renegades just chuck on the unexpectedness.
I want Renegades to be brutal. I want to see just so many attacks on that net that SMPR don't know what to do. Fever can raise the temperature on Forbidden Temple. Is he going to be able to do it, or will SMPR be able to hold out just enough to squeeze in just another game? Fever on that left wall. He's going to start things off big. To the backboard, blocked out by Cassio.
I mean, Fever alongside Anthis, one of that new generation of OCE players. They've sort of had a few retirees recently, and they're trying to make their stamp back in International Rocket League. But to do that, they have to get him the ball, and they have to get him involved. CJ, there we go. There's a fake. Onto the backboard he goes. But there is one of those surprise attacks that Renegades can really utilize. They keep the attack going. Kami, it's going to be a chance. It's going to be a goal for Fever.
And we hear from the other room so many shouts from 2/3 of Renegades. Great pass from Fever, finds Kami, and then able to tap it in on the goal line. Credited with the assist, and then going on for the shot. Renegades leading game number 2. Great start for them, because that was aggression out of the gate.
SMPR Esports, as if you didn't already know, Renegades are going to be no pushovers. Kami takes the sky. Chaussette tries to slow him down, but Cassio is intercepting there. Now his Fever, just recently already in this game, he's already had some clean touches. Trying to go solo again. It's working pretty well. That one's going to fall to CJ eventually. He's got Cassio closing him down brilliantly, though.
The ball just unfortunately goes over CJ's head when he really wanted to get that touch, but it was a good counter push from SMPR to then go on that touch and then get an advantage from CJ's error.
Here's Fever. Cassio yet again closing him down. Looks like he wants to really take this fight to Renegades, does Cassio. Such a brilliant player. Always has a pass in his locker. That pass only goes as far as the Renegades defense. They boom it away. Archie takes out Fever. Kami tries to close down Chaussette. Archie can get something going. And here's Fever. I mean, I'm noticing already so many clean touches for Renegades. We had none of that in game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that now Renegades are generating space that they can work into meant that just there, they had a near 3-man passing play on the net. SMPR sitting just a little bit further back and allowing this to happen. Maybe not respecting what Renegades are able to generate in the midfield.
CJ wants to get a second touch there, but can't. But it will fall to Kami. Does he go for the pass or the shot? In the end, it's towards the backboard. I think he could have waited a split second longer just to put that one central. Maybe done some more damage to SMPR Esports, but no harm done because they're still on the attack. Fever gets the flip reset. He gets it over the top of Archie. Going to Chaussette, but no one's following up on Fever's solo plays.
Renegades still leading here, 1-0 as we enter the final 3 minutes. Onto the backboard, chance for Fever. Shoots directly at Casio, who's rotating in from the back post position. CJ to send it central. The miss coming out again. It's SMPR now beginning to swarm and stopping any of the midfield pressure. I said earlier, maybe they didn't respect it. It looks like maybe they've realized Renegades are no joke.
SMPR will most definitely be thinking that, you know, they need to get themselves involved in this one a bit more, and the fact that they've got away with that Fever chance, which really should have been 2-0 to Renegades, will make them feel a little bit better, but maybe this will be 2-0 to Renegades. Fever! He's so good at the brilliant solo plays. Give him an easy shot, though, and he struggles.
Utterly dreadful. Quite frankly,
Wow.
that was an easy shot to go for.
Shots you shouldn't miss, training pack.
Potentially low on boost, but in the end, he doesn't manage to score it away. There would have been a doubled-up lead, and that may well prove to be vital. 2 minutes remaining, Renegades just with that one goal. Kami off the ceiling, can go for the second touch as well. CJ!
Brilliant save there from Casio. He read exactly what Renegades were trying there, and now his teammate Shorset can get a touch, a wave dash into Kami. He had all the power, but Kami had the better 50-50. CJ's helping out. Kami there, wants to follow it up, but it's going to fall into the center. And Archie. I mean, SMPR Esports, they're looking a little bit shaky.
There's just more chances coming on net from Renegades, but with a couple of open nets coming in, I appreciate Casio works his way back there nicely to then block it away. I just want them to finish them a bit quicker. You know, you're working for these chances. It takes a minute in build-up, and yet they just can't finish it.
One of those things that's very rarely mentioned from the pro level, how well can you strike the ball into the corner? In the series earlier on, G2 versus Endpoint, there was a sublime finish from Relating Wave past 2 G2 defenders. If Renegades could just put the simple ones away, then all this pressure they're getting will come to something. But right now, they're wasting those opportunities, and when SMPR are only 1-0 down, they are still so dangerous. But here's Kami, it's 1v1 again, over the top of Archie, he tries to go, Casio's there too. Fever's coming in, but Shorset takes it away. Now can Shorset get himself a counter-attack goal? He passes instead towards Archie, into the corner, and Kami somehow sends it sideways.
Beautiful touch away as well. Archie shooting with the top corner, can't quite make it. Casio now pressuring that net. Kami on with low boost, gets faked out by Shorset, but in the midfield, turns out that just a couple of seconds wasted, SMPR are able to take the advantage on the backboard. See CJ low boost, only has one.
Save.
Shorset with one thing on his mind, can't get the goal though.
Great read there from Fever. SMPR Esports have suddenly run out of time. This game has gone so quickly. That one goal that was scored earlier, still the difference between these two teams. As Fever puts it to the side, Shorset beats CJ to it. There's Archie. Suddenly it's SMPR Esports. They're getting every extra touch. CJ backflips on his backboard, and there's Casio to equalise.
CJ with a very basic error onto the backboard and just utterly backflips, ruins any chance of saving it. Casio, full advantage, brilliant positioning from him to make sure that if the miss does come in, very, very rare at this level, but you want to have that contingency plan. 15 seconds, SMPR draw us level.
Kami wants to get involved straight away, but his Shorset puts it into the center. Casio's trying to get a nudge on Fever, but it's not going to happen, and Kami coming in towards Archie. CJ, does he have the shot? He rolls it towards the goal. Kami wants to find Fever. SMPR wants to get it away. Fever wants to get the touch. Casio wants it to go to overtime, and it's the last one of those things that's happened.
SMPR earning that goal at the death of this game means that they are currently riding the momentum. It did come from a CJ error. He has to get that out of his brain. He cannot think about that for any longer than it needed to be thought of.
To be fair to the lad against Furia, he made plenty of mistakes as well, and he still walked away with a 3-0 victory, so they're able to fight when the chips are down. Archie's going to get a simple touch here, but Fever's just tracking him. Where are you going to go, Archie? Just towards me is the answer. CJ's got a chance to shoot here. Maybe no. Shorset comes in way too quickly. Kami's got it clean, though, and Renegades start the overtime better.
CJ bumping 1/3 of SMPR, but their defense so strong where they had plans to get that ball away. Kami, I felt like that was a very late save, maybe called onto it at the final second.
Can't even blame lag anymore as well in situations like that. Casio's coming in. Casio doesn't score. Shorset has to make a decision. Does he go for the 50-50 or turn around? He turns around. CJ almost punishes him, but can't quite connect with it. SMPR Esports continue to survive. CJ with another chance. Maybe he ends it this time. No, he misses it. Kami over onto the backboard now. Fever, can he put it away? He's scored some absolute bangers so far today. Could this be another one? The Doomsday Dish. It's saved on the goal line, and Kami can only send it as far as Shorset.
Opportunity after opportunity, and none of them taken so far. SMPR holding their line and shielding their net with their lives. 1 minute 20 has gone. Opportunities time and time again to get the lead in this game.
SMPR Esports going to come forward now. Casio, he shoots it towards the top corner. CJ was tracking it brilliantly on the backboard. Shorset reads it. SMPR Esports just really need to make one of these attacks count. I said earlier, they're so good keeping their opponent pinned down, but credit to Renegades, they're not letting themselves be pinned down. Archie does shoot. Oh, and Cassio follows it home. An almighty scream follows, and SMPR Esports take game 2.
2 minutes between goals, 1 in regulation, 1 in overtime.
Oh,
and a defensive error from Fever has the dish fly in the back of the net. SMPR earn a 2-0 lead in this series. Cassio's precognition thought of we destroy them 3-0 is looking good.
It's looking very good indeed. Renegades, they are playing incredibly well, but they are just not taking those chances. And at this level, you're not going to have many chances. You have to be able to smash that ball home. That really is the difference between these two teams. Shooting accuracy is all that separates them. SMPR Esports, though, you have to credit them for taking those chances.
Yeah, it just comes down into those positions where CJ, on the backboard, he's not able to... Thing is, he should hit that every single time. He needs to jump out, hit it away, fine. That's like 15 seconds left. He knows that. But it's just Cassio's positioning was so brilliant, and it was so well choreographed that he was there to then send the ball away with that amount of time left. I just adored the idea. Renegades now staring down that reverse sweep. A game loss for them and a game win on the other side of that gorgeous hype chamber. Game number 3 in our penultimate Swiss matchup. Renegades on death's door.
They've fought for thousands of hours, they've traveled for thousands of miles, and potentially Renegades, this is their final stand against the brilliant SMPR Esports, who might be able to put themselves 1-0 up early doors in the third. Here comes Chaussette onto the crossbar, and that is the difference. Look at the finish.
The French screaming on SMPR's side as Cassio manages to bump CJ out of the way as well. Chaussette, that Fennec, it is a match made in heaven.
SMPR Esports have exactly what they wanted from this third game, and as you mentioned, Stumpy, Cassio's prediction is looking more and more accurate. A couple of goals, and you'll surely be able to think that the Renegades fight may well be dead. This could be one. Archie with a flip reset. Kami gets in the way to save it. Cassio's closing it down as well. This is important moments for Renegades, but equally important for SMPR Esports. They could win it here.
CJ with a chance to send that ball over towards his teammate on the floor, ends up going just behind him and high. Those tiny 5% changes, that can turn the tide of a series. Renegades, they need to step it up.
Chaussette shoots that one. Fever into the center. SMPR Esports just staying a little bit further back, making sure they're not rushing anything, giving Renegades absolutely nothing for free. Back themselves to be able to score goals just by continually knocking at that door, especially with passing plays like this. There's Archie, he wants to follow it himself. Fever attract it well though, booms it away from the backboard.
I like Archie's very aggressive positioning there. He was rocking on pads, 12, 24 at a time, but he made sure to stay up really nicely and just be that nuisance. If Renegades know that Archie's behind them, they're going to be worried for the bump, and then they are going to make rushed touches. Their touches aren't great at the best of times, but CJ finds Fever. Cassio to the crossbar, no goal just yet.
Renegades seem like they've steadied the ship, and they're surging forwards into the orange half. CJ wants to get a touch, he fakes it, but Archie read what he was doing. Fever straight down, Cassio's going to win this one cleanly too. CJ, a good rotation into the center. Archie an equally good read. It's all a bit predictable for Renegades right now. The touch is not quite incisive enough. Are they looking for a teammate? Are they looking for themselves? Do they want the 50-50? What is it that Renegades want to do with this ball?
It looks like right now they're planning just to hit it hard, and the SMPR defense is making sure that you can do it, you can have midfield control, but you are not getting past our back line.
That's a much better pass, CJ. CJ spoons it towards Kami. He's trying to go forward, get this dunk on Cassio. Not to be on that occasion, and SMPR Esports do survive the wave. There's an infield pass towards Archie. He shoots, and he scores it. SMPR Esports double their lead.
Archie wrapping wide around that ball. Chaussette with an astounding ground pinch. Can just hook shot it left post. 2-0 SMPR. Just under 3 minutes left. They are about to go through into our top 8.
If you are SMPR Esports, this is your chance to go for the jugular. Keep on fighting, attacking Renegades, break through their defense time after time, give them no chance at all to come back, because we know this team, they can kick and they can fight and they can scrap with the best of them. SMPR Esports are doing just that, they're still coming. Here's Cassio wrapping around that ball, but CJ beats Archie to it. There's Archie there now. Kami finds CJ, but it's just too loose. SMPR come forward again.
That's that 5% of brilliance that we're just not seeing come out from Renegades in this matchup. SMPR, they're able to put the ball in front of their in front of their teammates and get it past the opposition. Fever just demonstrating that brilliantly there as he does get it past one though. It just comes down to small little changes that that ball trajectory does have.
On the cusp of the Swiss reverse sweep, SMPR Esports a standing tall to be countered. You think of Chaussette going into Season 8. First seed with reciprocity, completely disappointed on the LAN stage. That was the last RLCS LAN. It looks like it's not going to happen again. SMPR Esports are having their moment.
3 goals on the side of the orange and a potential spot in the playoffs with the best teams in the world. SMPR putting forward a brilliant argument as to why they should be joining them, and Renegades against the line, about to fall off the cliff in the Swiss abyss.
A goal each for the SMPR Esports team. They will have heard throughout the entirety of RLCS X and RLCS 21-22 about how Archie is their carry, how they would be nothing without him. This is them saying, we are a full, complete team. We can take on absolutely anybody. Their results here, disappointing, but they still have time to play with. CJ shoots to the side. Fever's coming in. Fever breaks through and Fever scores.
Just 2 goals now separating these teams. Renegades starting to turn it on. Kami, brilliant touch in the center. CJ just shooting wide, and then Kami to return with the demo on the keeper. Just 2 goals separating. 90 seconds between SMPR and their target.
Renegades are going to have to start this comeback so quickly. Every kickoff lost is going to be another nail in the coffin. Every 50-50 that doesn't go their way, more heartbreak for them. Fever around the corner. Has he got a pass in his locker? He's only got 12 boosts, but he does have CJ just offering a pre-jump, decides against it, stays grounded instead. Now he can potentially do something with his car, but somehow the attack runs out. Archie gratefully swallows another 10 seconds out of this game and tees up Casio to maybe kill it there. Kami's back in the corner. He just wants to do something, but they're so boost-starved whenever they have the ball. Renegades can't do anything with it.
The boost in the top left of Renegades so frequently under 0 for every single player. 30 maximum for a second or 2 there. And Archie bringing it back to a 3-goal lead for SMPR. The screams from the main stage in the hype chamber are echoing.
It was Archie that scored the goal, but did you see that wonderful body check from Casio, then pumping the ball into the center? Archie couldn't miss. SMPR Esports can't miss. They've got 50 seconds to survive a potential 3-goal onslaught, or they will survive to day 4.
It's now a time for Renegades to be chucking everything at the defense. CJ will be blocking that shot out in the corner. He leaves it for Fever, but just scrambling to get any touch on that ball that they possibly can. Sent high from Archie, goes left, goes clear, finds Kami. Nothing coming from it as the speed from SMPR is magnificent, and a 5th.
It's well earned from SMPR Esports. Sure set on the end of that one. Renegades, you can't blame them for chucking everything at it. They have to. But SMPR Esports, what a professional performance this has been. They've slowed down when the time is right. They've attacked when the time is right. And now they have seen this game through to the end.
20 seconds, SMPR looking unbelievable as they come through. Archie sends it high, 14 seconds remaining. There is no hope for Renegades now. This is merely a formality. SMPR Esports join their continental brothers in the playoffs.
Still time for one more, maybe. Archie to the backboard. It's not going to happen. None of what happens now matters. You can score an own goal if you want, pal. You've already won. Hey, there we go. One for the road for OCE and Renegades, but it's SMPR Esports that stand up in triumph